If you do go on to enjoy today's video, please consider liking it because I'm terrible at FIFA and I need all the self-esteem I can get. If you're interested in football shirts, football boots or anything football related, go check out my Depop. The link for that is also down below. If you do need any coins, head over to u7buystore.com. Use the code TVM at checkout for a discount. The link is in the description. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to another episode of The Road to Glory. Gameplay you're about to see is from, where is it from? Friendlies, I think. Yeah, so there are two objectives, one of which is for a 50k pack. I think the other one's for a 35k pack. This is the 50k. EA are hell-bent on forcing me to play these things that I only have a set number of attempts at. I hate it. I hate it with a passion. I can't do it. So, a lot of positive comments, whether they were meant to be or not, to be fair, because a lot of people saying that they are struggling with qualifying for champs just as much as I am. So I guess in a way it's nice to see, but also in another way obviously it's not nice to see people are failing to qualify. The frustrating thing for me about it is that I struggle to qualify, but as soon as I get there, it's not a problem. I got 8 wins, which was my target, with games to spare. So it is a really, I would say, baffling. I understand why I can't qualify. And someone says it's down to mentality. DJ Avi, or AVI, says it's down to mentality. You just need to essentially put it into your mindset that it's just a standard division rival game. And whereas I understand, you know, the sentiment, etc., it just doesn't work like that in my head, because I know it's not. Regardless of how much I tell myself it's just a normal or a friendly or whatever it may be, I know it's not. I know I'm trying to convince myself that it is. So, unfortunately, not only is it the same for champs, but when they do these, you've got to win 5 of 10 or 4 of 10 or whatever this is friendly-wise, I struggle. And it's anything in life, driving, test or anything, if I know it's a test or I know that I have got a set number of times to try it, I will struggle. And FIFA's no different. Fortunately for me, I suppose, when it comes to friendlies, I don't care as much. So even though I have lost, or I did lose my first 2 games of the 50k pack objective, I did go on to win the 3rd. So I'm now 1 and 2. I need to win another 3 of a remaining 7. But because it's a friendly and I don't care as much, I'm pretty confident I'll do it. If it was champs, on the other hand, I'm sure I wouldn't be able to do it because I want to qualify. You know, with this, yeah, it's nice to get a 50k back. Do I really care? Not particularly. Ironically, the first team that I've played with Mbappe that isn't a loan is the game that I win. The ones that have him on loan are the ones that beat me. Read into that what you will. A lot of people saying that they are struggling to qualify, like I said, which is also bad news for them and obviously good news for me, so it's not just me that is struggling. But a lot of people are saying that they were of the same level that I was last year. I do find it really interesting that I see obviously a lot of people who qualify, finished Silver 1 last year and Gold 3 and whatever, but the majority of players are coming out and saying, look, I can't qualify and I finished Gold 2 last year consistently. So it is, maybe it does come down to mentality. I'm not quite sure what it is, but either way, very frustrating times. Speaking of frustrating times, I honestly thought we were going to get some sort of SBC objective thing today. I knew we got the additional 3 players, which I was excited for, and then I saw what they were. They don't really do anything for me in terms of... Oh, it says 4 new players added. Alright, hang on then. Let me go over to Footbin. No face cam today, because I'm probably not going to be here very long, to be fair, because there's not an awful lot for me to do, as I haven't played any more games, and I don't plan on playing until later tonight. So, the other player added is an Atalanta right wing back that I can't pronounce the name of. So they've added Renan Lodi, Immobile, and Arnold. Like I said, none of those fit my team or interest me. So, unfortunately, I'm not going to be going after them. The objectives, I mean, we have these 2, right? For a 50k and for a 35k. So, I can't really argue with there's nothing to do. That is probably the most pointless objective I think I've ever seen. 84 rated cards are, I don't know, just over 1,000 coins. I mean, if you had a push, maybe just under 2k. But also, he has 68 pace. who is going to, honestly, who's going to use him? Even Union Berlin fans would struggle to convince themselves that that's a good thing to do. That's been there for ages as well. But yeah, these two, at least we have something to be going on with. I will hopefully finish this tonight. I do have a new tactic that I'm going to try out because I did it in the game that I was losing. Or yeah, no, I was losing. I can't remember what, but did it finish 4-2, 4-3, 4-2? You just saw the footage. I can't remember. So obviously, this is the team I'm using for the objective. This is my main team. The reason I'm using this team for the objective, of course, is the nations required. So it's more or less my main team. Mad that they have put Poland in there as a required nation, and of course we have a Polish goalkeeper. But a lot of the players are my main players, or they have been at one time. The only player that I've not, or the only two players that I've not used consistently in this entire team have been Reguilon and Martial. Of course, Mbappe doesn't count because he's alone. I use him whenever I need it, play friendlies. But the tactic that I used, right, I was losing, was it 2-0 or something? And I went, and it's first half, and I got absolutely rinsed. Could not play. I was getting absolutely demolished. And then I switched into this. It didn't have instructions. All I did was 3-5-2 constant pressure, put the players in the right areas, and I went for it. And I tell you what, my opponent couldn't get anywhere near me. I was all over him, and ironically, constantly all over him. And he could not get the ball, and when he did get the ball, he panicked because there were just players on top of him. And I was getting it back, and I managed to score twice. And then I made probably the most, I don't know, it wasn't a catastrophic error. It was something that I knew full well I shouldn't do, but something I thought, well, I might as well do it and see what happens. I went back into my 4-3-2-1, or 4-2-3-1, sorry. And it was a mistake because obviously he then went on, controlled the game again, got near the ball more, got on it more. I couldn't get near him, and then he scored 2 more goals. So 3-5-2. I'm on 10 depth. Reason being is because it doesn't really matter what the depth is. When you play a 3 at the back, obviously you're going to leave yourself exposed around the outside. But when you play constant pressure, your line pushes up dramatically. So even though on that right hand side I'm halfway in my own penalty area, it's never going to happen because my opponent is never going to be able to build up from the back and have time on the ball. He's going to have to hit me on the counter. So if you play against a possession player and you go constant pressure, yeah, of course, if they're good enough, they can ticky-tack around you and it's not a problem. But a lot of players will struggle under the pressure. I know I do. Like, if I'm given time to control the game, I will have a lot of possession. I'll create a fair few chances. Yes, I get hit on the counter. But if I'm playing against someone who's constant pressure, and this has happened against me a couple of times, and this is what made me try it, I can't think, I can't cope, I struggle to keep the ball. And that's exactly what I do to my opponents here. The only problem with this, of course, is that stamina drops dramatically. And then you're thinking to yourself, when you do get that 1 or 2 goals, you think, do I switch back to my normal formation and the way that I normally play, or should I stick with this? I made the mistake. I should have stuck with it. I didn't. I lost the game. If I stuck with this, honestly, I think I win in 90 minutes. The reason I've gone 10 depth, though, is to try and keep them back as far as possible. Now, obviously, I could go 0 depth, and I may do that in the future, but I'm just going to see. We won't be camped inside our own penalty area, though. That's not what's going to happen here. But I just want them to be back as far as possible so I don't get caught over the top. I'm still going to get caught, but we'll see what happens. Fast build-up and direct passing. I just want people close to me, making runs for me. There is individual instructions on, of course. It's largely irrelevant with this team because this is just my friendly team. When I go back to qualifying and playing rivals and stuff, we'll go through it a bit more in depth as to the instructions and things. I'm still going to tinker with it. I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, look, you need to do this because this works. Because at the end of the day, I'm not very good at this game. You should not be listening to my advice. But I'm telling you, this is what I'm going to do, and we're going to see how we get on. I will show you, probably in tomorrow's video, what happens. And then, of course, if we do manage to hit that 50k pack, we'll open it in tomorrow's video as well. I think, even though the market has fallen off a cliff, and this guy right here, who, when I packed him, was 120,000 coins, now he is, 50, 55, something like that. Unfortunately, I should have sold him if I was going to sell him when I packed him. But I am thinking, just take the coins, get 50-something thousand coins for him, sell my investments in the horrible ones to watches that I've put money into. I was kind of hoping that the repeatable team of the week SBC would drop today so that my Cavani's and Maguire's might rise just a little bit, just 500 coins, just for me to be able to make a little bit on them. But obviously they haven't. I have put 2... Oh, there we go. So they are selling. So I've decided to cash in on these. I say cash in. I'm trying to recoup my coins. Obviously, I'll lose tax, but what, 52.5 coins in tax? I'm not really that bothered. So I'm going to sell the remaining 5. I might have to relist them and lower them down. I'm going to hope that they sell for 10,750. That way I'll actually make like a couple of hundred coins profit getting. Yeah, I'm going to recoup the money there. 50k will take us up to 180. And then if I was to sell Bruno, it takes me obviously to 230. Now, what am I going to do with 230,000 coins? Annoyingly, the player that I want to replace him with is going to cost me more than 230,000, and I know a lot of people are going to go, why the hell do you want him? Well, to be fair, he's not necessarily the player that I want more than anyone. I want Kante, right? But I've always liked Fred. In every FIFA, he's just been meta. I don't know why, because if you look at his card, he's not particularly great, right? 4-star, 4-star, fine. High work rate's decent. Give him a defensive chem style of some description, and you've got yourself a really good card. He's agile, with high balance, good acceleration, and he's got decent defending. I do like him. Am I going to spend 300 and something thousand coins to get him? No, I'm not. I was hoping that when they dropped him, that he would come down to about 200k, because then I probably would have done it. I don't know what I'm going to do in the midfield instead of Bruno. I just don't really see the point in having Bruno there, and I would kind of like a change, so I'm open to suggestions. I don't think that there is a... what am I doing? I don't think that there's a Team of the Week player that actually like fits. I suppose I could do that SBC and bring Bernardo Silva in, because I don't necessarily need a CDM of some sort, but I don't know. Maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. Roberto Firmino might work, to be fair. The inform, not expensive, better defending than Bernardo Silva, don't need him to have pace, has 5-star skills, has a high defensive work rate as well. Could maybe stick a defensive chem style on him, then again I could just leave him as he is and maybe try and bump up the passing and possibly the agility, or maybe even the pace as well. Bring him into the midfield. I don't know if that would work chemistry wise, probably not. But I could just play him off chem, you know, who cares? I don't know, maybe that's an option actually, because I guess he's, I mean, how expensive is he? I was thinking, hang on a minute, no he isn't. People transferring coins. So he's actually less than Bruno, so I could, oh my god, he's much less than Bruno. So I could sell Bruno, buy him, and still have change, which is a decent little thing. So I could be left on 190, even after I bought Roberto Firmino, which is actually not a bad thing. I don't know, that's an option, just to try and mix up a little bit and to use someone a little bit different more than anything else. Obviously a player that I like in real life, could possibly work in the midfield, I don't know. Let me know. What do you think I should do in terms of the midfield? Bruno isn't the only player that I could change, and I know that that isn't the team we're looking at changing. But, you know, for as bad as his record is, it's not terrible, but he does do a lot for me, and I do quite like him there. But until EA release an SBC of a player that I really want, I'm thinking just sell Bruno, maybe buy Roberto Firmino. What do you reckon? Let me know in the comments. I will go after Kante eventually. I just think at the moment he's far too expensive. I haven't actually checked his price for a while, but last time I checked it, it was high. It was I mean, with good reason, I would imagine. He was a very expensive card, but I think like 600k he was. So now he's down just underneath 500. Still can't afford him, unfortunately, and I don't think I'd be willing to spend that much money on him. Like if he was down at maybe 250, 300, then I would probably push for it, but I'm not going to try and save up to 500k just to get him. Halfway to Ronaldo at that point, so, well, maybe not quite, but close enough. Let me know in the comments what you would do if you were in my position. If you were going to sell Bruno, who would you get to replace him? I'm tempted just to stick Alan there as well, actually, and maybe buy Robertson, but I don't know. That's maybe for tomorrow's video. If you have enjoyed this talking to glory, then do me a favour and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and until the next time, goodbye.